I kind of want to just start with the NFL and the huge signing.
Yep.
I mentioned, I think it was a week ago, maybe two, where Cam Newton was working out with OBJ, and he had some tape that he was sending out to the teams, and I guess it impressed Belichick enough to sign him, and now he's a New England Patriot, replacing Tom Brady. That was a kind of a shock to me. I had heard rumors, but I didn't know Belichick would want to do that. So what do you think?
Well, I think Belichick is shrewd. He's a shrewd businessman. He really is. And he will take a deal when he sees it. And Cam Newton right now is a deal. And I don't believe he has to pay him that much to even come in, because he didn't garner that much attention from around the league. So I think he's using that, and he's going to push him in camp, because if he wants the starting role, then he's going to have to prove that he's the starter, right? Belichick's just not going to give it to him. No. He's going to have to earn it.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a good gamble on his part. It's a smart gamble on Belichick's part to bring the guy in, because it's like, for him, it's like no harm, no foul. You did lose Brady, so.
Super impressive. Why not? Cam Newton, obviously, he's struggled with some shoulder surgery. He had an ankle problem last year, only played in a couple games. Not up to the form he was when he won the MVP and took the team to the Super Bowl against the Broncos. He was phenomenal in 2015. He still holds records. He's the only guy I think he's got 39 games where he scored a rushing touchdown and threw a passing touchdown. He's a mobile guy. I don't know with these injuries if it's limited mobility, but what the Patriots had, rookie guy, a guy that had thrown a few balls last year, nothing much. This is a brilliant move by the Patriots and Belichick. And, I don't know it could work long-term with them. They're different personalities, but, I think it's a smart move in the meantime until you can get something better. I think a lot of GMs and owners are going to be mad. Why didn't we do this? It's been a smart move for a lot of teams.
It could have been a smart move for a lot of teams, but I think my hope is that from all the various injuries that unfortunately Cam has suffered throughout the last couple of years, that he hopefully comes into this training camp just healthy.
Yeah.
Like healthy, like he's finally over all these various injuries that he's had. And so, and if he actually is healthy going into the season, you might see a very different Cam Newton than what we've seen over the past previous years, because he's had to overcome a ton of injuries.
Yeah.
So
obviously quarterback's a tough position. You're getting injuries. Guys are getting hurt. They got these monster linemen and linebackers trying to get him, every play. And, a guy's going to face some injuries. But, we've seen some guys face some really horrific injuries and come back and play phenomenal. It's tougher. He's 31, still in prime years for a quarterback. I think if he can shake off the injuries and some of the rust, he hasn't looked spectacular last couple seasons, but, if he can get back to close to that MVP form, the Patriots, they're not going away. I know you were like happy that Brady left and all of a sudden, hey, we don't have to deal with the Patriots anymore, but maybe we still do. Maybe they're going to, be able to win their division and get a really prime playoff position again, and we won't see the Patriots go away for a while.
Well, that makes me sad with what you just said, because I'm kind of done with them. I'm done with the whole team and everything else. But I'm sorry, man. I'm still happy about it. Because it's not Brady and Belichick anymore. Belichick said, "I've had enough," and Brady's like, "Well, I just want to go where it's nice." So I'll see you later.
Yeah.
But the Patriots have tortured me for years. And so I'll say this: if Cam Newton's actually open to being coached by Belichick, I think he can get nothing but positives out of that. Nothing but positives. And if he gets onto that Patriot system, maybe the man does resurrect his career.
Yeah.
It depends. It depends on where he's at mentally and physically.
Yeah.
So
when Cam Newton walked out of that press conference after the Super Bowl win, it really made a lot of people question his heart and his mental toughness. And I don't know, he just definitely has fallen off the last few seasons. And we've talked a lot about Kaepernick having the same kind of thing where he takes the team to the Super Bowl and then a few years later he's out of the league. And Cam Newton was close to being out of the league. Nobody had stepped up for months and months and months, a long, long time. And the Patriots did it, and wow, I'm impressed. Belichick's a smart guy, one of the probably the greatest coach to ever be in the NFL, and another shrewd general manager move too. Wow, holy cow! They did it on the day that the NFL handed down the punishment for their little bit of misgivings in Cleveland, and that was kind of funny timing. $1.1 million fine. They lost a third-round draft pick, and they can't have that film crew out anymore. That was kind of good timing on their part.
Well, you know what they say: if you're not cheating, you're not trying. And the Patriots are really good at cheating. They're really good at it. But I don't know, man. Like, hey, they're an organization utterly committed to winning at all times. And unfortunately, kind of by any means necessary, whether they be nefarious or not. So, I can't begrudge them that. And the league did smack him with a good penalty. That was that's a good amount of money, 1.1 million. Maybe not for the billionaire owner. Maybe he's just like, well, let me go into my sock drawer and get that money for you. But whatever, man. It was needed because. Roger Goodell needs to set the bar for these owners of, there's certain things you can do and you can't do, and you clearly cannot do that.
Yeah.
And so hopefully going forward, the Patriots do a little bit less of that. I doubt it. I really do.
Yeah.
But, whatever. They're going to do what they're going to do.
They didn't learn their lesson over the last couple incidents, Deflategate being one of the most highly publicized crazy things that went on and on and on, and Brady eventually getting suspended and a lot of that, and they didn't learn from incidents before. So I doubt they're going to change their ways, but it was a pretty smart move, just signing Cam and trying to sweep that under the rug and hey, let's move on. We want to talk about the football, and that's what I'd rather do too. Who cares? If you're not, there's cheating and there's cheating, and I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but whatever. Here we go.
Exactly.
Yeah, go.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with what's going on in this at this time right now.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a big deal. It's just something that you pass off in sports news, and by the way, this happened. Patriots got fined again. Not a big deal. Anyways, moving on.